Hi everyone, this is Todd from Cemetery Walks. Just want to take a moment to thank you all for watching, but remind you to make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. There are a lot of views, however, the vast majority of you are not subscribed. Also, make sure you hit that like and notification button so you're notified each time I drop a new video. Leave comments and suggestions because I do want to improve the content for you as the viewer. So thank you all again. Sit back and let's get to the video. Well, hello, it's me again, it's Todd, and today we are at historic Pinecrest Cemetery in Mobile, Alabama, here for two special reasons, and there are two individuals that became famous probably for a very unexpected reason, so let's get started.
On cemetery walks, we'll find their trace, unravel the lies time can't erase. Cemetery walks, the past comes alive when history talks. Cemetery walks.
And here we have the Phillips plot, and the person that we are first going to meet is Mr. Sidney Clark Phillips Jr., September 2nd, 1924 to September 26, 2015. Sidney Phillips was in the Marine Corps. He fought in the Pacific and was one of the characters in the TV series, the HBO TV series, The Pacific. And he and his friend from Mobile both joined separately. Sidney joined prior to his buddy, but eventually they met up in the Pacific Islands, I think at Pavuvu Island. Here's some information that is available on Mr. Sidney Phillips, and then we'll continue our walk to find his buddy. Private First Class Sidney "Sid" Phillips Jr. was born September 2nd, 1924. He and his best friend growing up, Eugene B. Sledge, went to Murphy High School together in Mobile, Alabama. Both were in the marching band, and both were self-professed troublemakers. Sidney graduated from high school in June of 1941 and went to work for the U.S. Corps of Engineers. On December 8, 1941, when just 17 years old, he and a friend, W.O. Brown, enlisted in the Marines. After his basic training, Phillips was assigned to H Company, 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment in the 1st Marine Division, and taught to operate the 81mm mortar. In the spring of 1942, he went overseas, first to New Zealand, and then in August of 1942 to the Solomon Islands, where he participated in the landings on Guadalcanal. Phillips survived 4 months of combat on the island and fought in many battles, including the Battle of Tanaru. Phillips and his unit were taken off Guadalcanal on December 22, 1942, eventually sent to Melbourne, Australia for rest and recovery. Towards the end of 1943, he was sent to New Guinea for training and then participated in the invasion of Cape Gloucester on the western tip of New Britain. After several months of miserable fighting in the jungles there, he was sent to a rest camp on the island of Pavuvu. From there, in the summer of 1944, Phillips was rotated back to the United States and was accepted into the V-12 Naval Officers Training Program. He was still in training when the war ended and was able to return to Mobile. There he married Mary Houston, had 3 children, and became a family physician in Mobile, his hometown. Sidney Phillips passed away on September 26, 2015. Thank you very much for your service, sir. So here we have the Harvey Baker Caskey plot. We have Frank Gerald Harvey Sr., April 19th, 1927 to October 22nd, 1985. Thank you much for your service, sir. Here we have William E. Crabtree Sr., PFC, U.S. Marine Corps, World War II, November 29th, 1925 to November 10th, 2016, Purple Heart. Thank you much for your service, sir. You pick up this flag and put it where it belongs. Couldn't have guessed it already. We have the Sledge family plot. This is Eugene Sledgehammer Sledge, best friend of Sidney Phillips. He was an author and a Marine. And here's some information on him. Eugene B. Sledge was born in Mobile, November 4th, 1923. Described as bookish and frail as a child, he had been taught to hunt and fish by his physician father and spent much of his free time roaming the woods on the outskirts of town with his best friend, Sidney Phillips. The grandson of Confederate officers, Sledge maintained a lifelong interest in the conflict, which included hunting for Civil War relics in Spanish Fort and Blakely, Alabama. He was a freshman at the Marion Military Institute, studying to become an officer when he decided to sign on as a private in the Marines instead. He was afraid that if he waited for graduation, he might not get a chance at combat. So he enlisted in the Marine Corps at Marion in December of 1942. After a brief stint at the Georgia Institute of Technology in an officer's training program from 1943 to 1944, he left the program to serve in the ranks as an enlisted man. Like his buddy Sidney, Sledge was trained as a mortarman, then assigned to Company K, 3rd Battalion, 5th Regiment, 1st Marine Division. He fought on the island of Peleliu in September of 1944, which coincidentally is when Medal of Honor winner PFC John Drury New, also from Mobile, earned his medal on September 25th, 1944. Sledge also fought on Okinawa in the spring of 1945, and throughout the many brutal months he spent overseas, Sledge kept an unauthorized journal, jotting down his impressions of fighting and slipping his notes between the pages of his Bible. He later turned those books into a memoir entitled With the Old Breed at Peleliu and Okinawa, which became the basis in part of the HBO series The Pacific. After the war, he returned to Alabama, married Jean Arquino, and had 2 sons. He then became a biologist and a teacher at the University of Montevallo. PFC Eugene B. Sledge died of stomach cancer on March 3, 2001. So thank you very much for joining me on this walk. Yes, it was a short one, but I actually got to find the 2 individuals that I wanted to find and found a relative that I wasn't expecting. So all in all, a good walk, a good day. I do appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you very much for joining me. Have a blessed one, and I'll see you on our next walk. Thank you for watching Cemetery Walks with Milvet. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like and notification button, and we'll see you back here on our next walk.